Welcome back to the Knock-On Effect, the rugby show where we say what the pundits won't. This Saturday we'll see two Irish heavyweights go toe-to-toe in Croke Park. Macmillan versus Cullen, Casey versus Gibson Park, Crowley versus Prendergast. In today's video, we're going to take a look back over all the action from their most recent fixtures and answer the question, who will win Saturday's clash in Croke Park, Munster or Leinster? Let's get stuck in. So we usually do a full game week wrap up on Monday, but for the week that's in it, I wanted to put full focus on Munster and Leinster. If you haven't already done so, take this chance to hit subscribe. You guys are genuinely helping us grow the channel, and I think you'll all be very happy with what we have building down the line, so thank you. Jumping straight in, Munster hosted Edinburgh down in Cork on Friday, and by God did that match take years away from my life. The major talking point was Edinburgh's discipline, both good and awful. The return of their three Lions and the fact that they lost to Zebra last week had the Scots well geared up for this one. Their line speed was fantastic, they tackled with intensity, but they gave away 4 yellow cards. The fact that they were able to stay in the fight shows how brilliant they were in every other aspect of their game. As good as Edinburgh were, Munster were equally poor. The line out in the first half was shocking. Granted, it improved in the latter stages of the match, but we looked off the pace and slow in our attack. There were some good performances though. Andrew Smith's quick thinking got him over the try line yet again. He's seriously clinical. Tom Farrell was back to his best with his offloads and creating space for attackers. Michael Milne rivaled him for man of the match with 2 tries and plenty of carries, but I want to shine a light on a player who often flies under the radar. Fineen Wycherley. He had a fantastic game. He was physical in his tackles, proved a menace at the breakdown, and he even popped up with a try to seal the win. The match itself was a tough watch. I thought the ref, Ben Whitehouse, lost control. The scrums were a mess. Some of the yellows were a bit excessive, and it just didn't have an ebb and a flow to it at all. But nonetheless, Munster are unbeaten in the first 3. Now, does that excuse the fact that given Edinburgh's yellows, we should have done a lot better? No. But the way that I look at it, we lost this match last year. Last week against Cardiff, we didn't look great either, but we got the job done there too. Against the Scarlets, there was plenty of glimpses of what Macmillan is building towards in terms of high-tempo rugby, and the bottom line is simple: 3 wins from 3. That is a major improvement from last season, and given Macmillan is only in the door, I'm pretty happy with the direction in which things are going. As for Leinster, their first home match in the Aviva was against the Sharks on Saturday. They saw plenty of the big boys return here, and given how they've started the season, this match felt important. It was important for Leinster to remind themselves of the standard required to wear the infamous blue jersey. Did they succeed? Absolutely. James Lowe chip ball through to Osborne not only got them off the blocks, but reminded a few of the fickle fans what they are capable of. Harry Byrne proved a stable operator in the backline. Van der Fleer was immensely impressive, not only his try, but in terms of leadership and drive. Leinster's set piece was much improved, and they silenced a lot of critics who questioned whether the first 2 games would carry over. As for a player who I think deserves a light to be shone on him, I think Fintan Gunn was brilliant. He displayed everything that you'd want to see from a young scrum half. Energetic, lively, tenacious. His passing was fantastic, his decision making was far above his years, and he drove them around the park. If I was a Leinster fan, I'd much prefer to see him start when Gibson Park is away. As for the Sharks, I fucking told you so. What I saw in that quarter-final last year wasn't pretty, and the point that I made back then, and the point that I'm going to make again now, is that if that is your character, when the going gets tough, you will crumble. I've seen their fans turn on each other, the players, the coaches, even calls for a change in ownership over the weekend. We're 3 weeks in. It's getting nasty for the Sharks, and they need to get a grip on things before they truly spiral out of control. Which brings us to the question, who will win Saturday's clash in Croke Park? On paper, Leinster. They are going to be odds-on favourites, and they have earned that right. Leinster have been at the upper echelon of not only URC rugby, but European rugby. They've been the best Irish province in the last decade, and they won both home and away against us last year. There is a huge swing though in how I feel heading into this match. Typically, Munster have had a handful of losses by the time that we head to Dublin, and while I'm typically a bit more unsure of how our season is going to unfold, I'm desperate for a win in this fixture. Whatever if we lost a few games in the run-up, whatever if we're underperforming, it'll all be okay as long as we can just beat Leinster. This year, it's different. We're in a much better place, and I think it's going to take time for McMillan to fully incorporate his brand of rugby with the squad. What I want to see on Saturday from Munster is for us to be competitive. I want to see fight. I want to see drive. I want to see intensity. I want to see how much it matters. We touched on it in the intro, but it feels like the Munster players are beginning to rival Leinster once again. Through the likes of Craig Casey and Jack Crowley, it feels like this is truly the beginning of a new era for Munster rugby. Leinster seem a bit vulnerable at the moment after the first few games, and while I don't think they're going to drop off a cliff or anything like it, could Munster do the unthinkable? Have your say in the comments below. We'll be back over the weekend to give our reaction not only to this match, but all the games from the URC. As always, cheers for watching. Catch you at the next one.